Welcome guys. In this video, we will be discussing the object-oriented programming concepts, commonly known as OOPs. Before starting to learn any object-oriented programming language, more specifically here is Java, one must understand the principles of OOPs. Before going to the principles of OOPs, we will discuss what is object-oriented programming. So object-oriented programming is a powerful way to approach the job of programming. Programming methodologies have changed dramatically since the invention of the computer, primarily to accommodate the increasing complexity of programs. For example, when computers were first invented, programming was done by toggling into binary machine instructions using the computer's front panel. As long as programs were just a few hundred instructions long, this approach worked. As programs grew, assembly language was invented so that a programmer could deal with larger, increasingly complex programs using symbolic representations of machine instructions. As programs continued to grow, high-level languages were introduced that gave the programmer more tools with which to handle complexity. There are 5 principles of object-oriented programming system, that is, classes and objects, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, and data abstraction. In this video, we will discuss the first 2, and the rest of 3 will be discussed in the next video. So, we will discuss the classes and objects first. As we know, Java is an object-oriented language. Means, in Java we mainly focus on object. But here are so many questions that what is an object, and how to declare an object, and the rest of the things. So an object is nothing but a real-world entity which is having independent existence in real world. For example, a person, a job, a car, all are the example of object. And when we do programming as per the object point of view, this is called object-oriented programming. Okay. So now, what is a class? A class is like a rough sketch before creating the objects. In other words, we can say that before creating the actual object, initially a class is created which defines what characteristics and behavior the object will have. Or we can also define a class as a blueprint for the upcoming object. Or a class is the combination of data members and methods. Here, data members are the memory locations which objects will have as their data, and methods are the behavior which object will call to perform operation on its data. So technically we can define a class as it is a user-defined data type for creating the real-world objects. It's a design or blueprint before creating the actual object. Java provides a keyword for creating classes, that is, class keyword, and the syntax for creating classes is like this: class and class name, and the 2 square brackets, and inside this square brackets the members and methods are being defined. So let's take an example. For example, God created human beings, but before creation, somewhere God creates the design of human being like this: class, human being, parts, ears, eyes, hands, etc. And the behavior, which is here the methods. That is, ears are used for listening, eyes for vision, hands for writing. Okay, so this is a class. I have given this example to make you understand how the problems of real world are dealt with the classes. So in Java, before creating the actual object, first of all, class is created which contains parts, that is data member or variable, and behavior, that is methods. Now we again come to an object and give a better definition of it. An object is the actual representation of what we define inside the class. In class, we define data members, and to perform operation on data members, we create methods. All these we define inside the class is just our imagination. But in real time, class data members get memory only when object is created. In short, a class is a representation of the object, but an object is the memory representation of the class. We will go in depth of classes and objects when we will be learning that topic, but here we are giving only the overview of the OOPs concepts. Okay, so the second OOPs concept is encapsulation. So encapsulation in Java is a mechanism of wrapping the data, that is variables and code, acting on the data, methods, together as a single unit. That is, all of them are kept in a module or module. All of them are kept in a module. When code and data are linked together in this fashion, an object is created. In other words, an object is the device that supports encapsulation. In encapsulation, the variables of a class will be hidden from other classes and can be accessed only through the methods of their current class. Therefore, it is also known as data hiding. Now, to achieve encapsulation in Java, we have two steps. That is, declare the variables of a class as private, provide public setter and getter methods to modify and view the variables' values. We will discuss how to achieve encapsulation in Java when we will come to that topic. But here we are only giving the theoretical concepts. Okay. So next, what are the benefits of encapsulation? Number 1. The fields of a class can be made read-only and write-only. A class can have total control over what is stored in its fields. The users of a class do not know how the class stores its data. A class can change the data type of a field, and users of the class do not need to change any of their code. So that's all for this video. In the next video, we will be discussing the remaining 3 OOPS concepts, that is polymorphism, inheritance, and data abstraction. So thanks for watching, and if you want the notes, then you can go to the description. I have provided the link for the notes which you should read, and I would suggest that you must read those notes for better understanding the topic. Thank you.